Welcome back to Perch First, ladies and gentlemen. It's UFC 278 edition. Man, oh man, was it nice, sweet, or whatever you wanna friggin' call it. But you already know how it ended with a new champion, only one championship on the line, which is kind of weird because I feel like a lot of these UFC events, or in the past, somewhat in the past, have been, or a couple of titles have been on the line, as y'all know, or have noticed, or had noticed. But today we had Co with Luke. This is Polo Acosta, which was probably the fight of the night. I don't know what else could be the fight of the night. Wu versus Podolova. If that's how, I don't know if I'm 100% pronouncing her name correctly, but I don't think that was a fight of the night. And I can't say Marab Dalwish. Marab Wille. I can't say Wille's fight was fight of the night. So it was easy. Like the first was round two was freaking crazy by Luke versus Polio, but Polo. It's wrong right there. Can't be saying stuff like that. Polo. Tyson Pedri or Pedro. For some reason I thought it was pronounced Pedro, but it was yeah. I don't know. For some reason I thought it was probably gonna be Brazilian or something, but yeah. Handsucker, Harry Handsucker, Harry Handsucker didn't have a single chance. Tyson just came out there and swinging. Let's look at the numbers real quick and just pretty much got it down. Total strikes 6 for 11. Significant 6 for 11, as y'all see right there. There really wasn't much for this fight. I can barely remember this fight, to be honest. That's the one thing I try to do these videos as fast as possible, or as soon as these UFC events are over, so I can just, try to get down to the nitty gritty. For that reason, I can barely remember it. Like later on, I'll probably it'll just hit my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened in that fight. But yeah, so that was a quick fight. Then the Wu fight. That fight. What I mainly remember from that one, to be honest, was just the amount of elbows Wu was getting to the Wu. Um, Lucy she was not letting Wu have anything, to be honest, at least from what I remember. She didn't, Wu, they were swinging in the first round, but Wu got on top. Oh, Wu got on top. Lucy got on top and just started whooping her freaking ass. Um, another, I don't remember any other fighter. There was one guy fighter who used the elbows as good as Valentina Shevchenko uses them, or used the elbows, and that was Lucy. I'm not gonna go back to using her. I could just call her Love because she got Love on her last name. To be honest, I don't know why this fight. I feel like there could have been much bigger fights than this, but so much fights have already been booked, and certain fights are being booked, and so much good fights were already booked or had been booked already for other events. Like the UFC London was pretty massive, and it had a couple of big fights. Even last week's fight, or last week's card fight night, that was pretty fucking insane. Was that? Yeah, Vieira versus Cruz. That crazy, man, just the insane knockouts. Another one though. We had another one again and again. Jose Aldo versus Morab. Oh my god. The performance by Morab. It wasn't really I said, oh my god, as in it was a crazy fight. It really wasn't a crazy fight. It was more of dominance, somewhat dominance. Because Jose's defense was pretty good. I don't think you could see you don't see I think if I were to go on UFC.com, I would see defensive takedown stats, but I don't see the well, actually, you can see him 0 for 16. Uh, I thought one of them actually. I thought he had two of them. I don't know. I remember watching live and DC and all of them were saying, "Oh, there goes one." I think he just had him on the ground, but it wasn't technically a takedown because he had him on his knees. I'm pretty sure one of those landed though, but it does say 0 and 16. Google is never wrong. Mama said. Adam Sandler for y'all right there. Significant strikes. 36, 67, 55 for 147. Holy shit, Murad was throwing. But obviously, a lot of those was while he was trying to control. And then, on the, or while Jose Aldo was on the cage and he was trying to, play the defensive game, and Murad could just pretty much throw a couple of punches, try to get him off his defensive game, but didn't fully work. But it makes the numbers look good for him because technically he 230, which I don't know. See, for me, I don't like they're not significant like that, but I mean it says right there 147 significant, but I don't know about that. I'm not 100 on that. The other thing is you don't want to scrap Jose because you're probably going to end up getting knocked off breakout. And Murad played it really smart, trying to do some of that wrestling, that Georgian wrestling, and that's how we got the freaking dubs, ladies and gentlemen. There was a moment where Jose was doing some yawn and all that stuff, but I mean, when they did scrap, when they threw them hands, when they threw them combinations, do all that good stuff. Jose obviously was the one winning in those areas, but then it would go back to the wrestling, and that at the midway point, midway as in in the middle of second round, Jose was just kind of he was kind of out of it. But yeah, that was pretty much that, and I think Joe brought up the fact. Well, like everybody's always asked him, like, what's gonna happen, with the bantamweight, since Sterling is the champion, and if he still has the champion after the TJ Dillashaw I was about to say TJ Dillashaw Corey Sandhagen, no Sterling TJ Dillashaw fight. If he still has the title, like, what's gonna happen there? Because obviously Murad moves up even more. Corey's fought for the title, or was that co-main event? The rest of them ain't clicking right now. Corey has fought for the title. Peter's fighting Sean O'Malley. And then who else is there? Whatever, let's get on to the next fight. Well, that's different story. Different fight. Polio, or Polio, I said that wrong. You kept saying it kind of things. But Paulo Costa versus Rock Lockhold. Rock. Oh my god, I literally can't get the freaking name out. Luke Rockhold Rook. Okay, let's just fuck up everybody's name. How about that? Luke Rockhold. Epic moments in that fight. The spinning, freaking whatever the heck kick that was. He did. If he would have landed that, that would have been like crazy. It was in the second round. I don't know if y'all remember that or not, but that freaking kick looked crazy. It was like one of the nicest kicks I've actually seen, which didn't land though. It's like just him trying to pull it off. Somebody else did that a couple fights back, or not the same kick. It was just, I don't know, the way I can't really explain it. It would be nice if I could like pull up the highlights and all that stuff, but obviously UFC don't allow that kind of bullshit. But that would be nice, right? Because I remember I did a Derek, after I got done with my video, I did a Derek Lewis. I did one of his post-fights interviews, and they put a copyright disclaimer bullshit on a fucking. I'm like, I don't even have a following technically, and the video had like 20 views and shit, and I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Why ain't y'all eat a coat? But yeah, the fight. Back to the fight. Start off shaky for Luke with originally when I was first watching, I think they did the replay in the half or the half during the break technically, or the 50 minutes, or is it a full minute where they break? I forget. But yeah, it looked like that old boy Paulo hit him with a shot. Was it uppercut? I think it was uppercut. It looked like he landed one, but I think it was just a trip. And then he actually did hit him, and he shook him up, and that's how he got the busted nose, which made the fight much hotter for Luke. Rest of the way. I don't know if that didn't happen, it would probably be a whole different fight. And then he tried wrestling, and that wasn't really working out too much because I mean, Paulo is not the. I mean, you would think he'd probably be pretty good at jiu-jitsu since he's Brazilian now, but that doesn't seem like it's his game. I don't know what the hell. I mean, it looks like Paulo's game is mainly straight up fighting, as in like stand-up fighting, which seems like what he likes to do. Because there was a couple of chances where, yeah, he looked like he could have easily put him in a rear naked choke, and he didn't. And Luke just wasn't really allowing him to have too much ground control, but technically he did have a pretty good amount of ground control. Let's not be too much. But all around, man, this fight was just all over the place. Luke was landing shots. Paul was landing shots. They were just both landing shots, kicks, they were landing every single freaking thing. Like Luke would land a body shot and freaking Paulo landed a body shot. Luke came back with a body shot. He would land pretty much a punch or two, and he would land one or two. Then go with a combination. That's why I say easily this would be the fight of the night. It's not even a competition, to be honest. They win it straight up. And then the moments where at the very end where Luke, I don't know, at the the moment where Luke was bleeding obviously all over the place from his mouth, he was bleeding from the nose and all that, and he just like rubbed his face all over Paulo Costa's freaking head. They got up and it looked like Paulo just got beat the crap out of, but he did it, it was obvious it was all of freaking Luke's blood. And then in the was it second where Luke got I think hit in the groins. Oh yeah, that holy crap that nutshell. That was like I just couldn't stop laughing because for me originally when I first saw it, I thought it was a rib shot. I'm like, whoa, that was a good rib shot. And they did the close up and everything. He hit him right in his freaking jackrabbits. It was yeah, it's much funnier obviously when it was live and all that other good stuff. But yeah, a bunch of oh yeah, and he got up from that and he grabbed his blood and put it on his face. I'm like, whoa, that was like a warrior style, some from like one of those gladiator movies and shit, which was pretty cool. Then I was, I was after one of oh no, it was after the fight. I looked on Instagram there, or somewhere like, oh, it's pretty cool, what Luke Rockhold did and all that stuff. Oh, and Luke Rockhold retired as well. Got pretty emotional and all that stuff. And I mean, during the week, or like during pre-fight, he was talking pretty much, you could say, talked shit about the UFC pay and all the stuff that's going on with the UFC and all that. And he also lost a kid, and which sucks. Well, he lost it because I mean, I guess they both decided they didn't want to go through with the pregnancy and all that other stuff. So, I guess kind of sad and all. But I don't know. UFC, I don't know. Sometimes I prefer not to hear the stories because then you almost want to root for a certain fighter. But I try my best not to root for any fighter. I just try to enjoy the fights. That's the best thing. Even though sometimes I do want to, I mean, I'm a big fan of all international Brazil sports. I'm big time with Brazil soccer, Ronaldinho and all them boys, Vinny Jr. and all them boys. So you would think I'd be big time supporter. I do like Paulo Costa. I do like Jose Aldo, but I also like Luke and Murab, and I'm a supporter of the fire, mate. Then the big one, the big kahuna. Mr. Leon Rocky Edwards. Man, this one, the significance. Look at me now. Look at me now, doubt me now. I forget that part. I forget if he exactly said that, but he did say, "Look at me now," and he got really emotional. Mr. Leon Edwards, another, another crazy freaking finish. Same as last week, Cruz versus Viara. Like, man, in one of my other videos, I said a lot of these freaking main events have been lackluster, but they have improved. They are blockbuster again with Leon Edwards. I mean, technically, this one wasn't as, blockbuster. It was lackluster from 2 to 3, but blockbuster from 1 to 2. And then we actually got that fifth round. I 100% believe, I don't 100% believe, I know, we all know, Kamaru Usman fed into the crowd. He also wanted that KO. Come on, let's be honest. He wanted to knock. He saw, like, I mean, for a good amount of time, everybody, Joe Rogan, DC, everybody said the fight was technically over, and everybody was like, even that other dude, I forget his name, said that Leon wasn't even looking at his coach and this and that, and Leon with the crazy feint, man, that was. I mean, if you're gonna do a feint, and I mean, I don't know if that was the game plan the whole time or what the fuck. I mean, you don't wait until the 56th second to do that, which was fucking crazy, absolute crazy. I mean, I still have a hard time believing. I had a hard time believing it when I was watching it. I'm like, whoa, did I just see Kamaru Usman drop like a zombie? Which he did. Oh my goodness, that was crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It was. I mean, I don't know what else I can. The fight looked like it was. It didn't look like it was. It was over. I mean, realistically, if it wasn't Kamaru Usman, if somebody else that like was like the striking game wasn't as good, and they knew they only because Kamaru Usman's striking game is pretty good, but that feint, it looked like he was so close to actually just landing that shot, but then to go with the kick to the face, wow, 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 man. I mean, I don't know how many. I mean, go and watch they. If you watch the very end, they replayed that kick over and over and over. Man, I mean, even the first round, Leon Edwards actually looked really good. Like, he looked like, I mean, he won the first round, ladies and gentlemen. I think he actually had a takedown the first time. See, that's the other impressive thing he did. Leon Edwards actually took down Mr. Kamaru Usman. Let's bring up our stats, analytics, and all that bullshit. Um, Look at these numbers: 247 total strikes against 80 bloody 5. Bloody fuck. 189 landed against 64. 55 significant strikes landed. That might have fucked up there, but 55 significant landed out of 75, 73.3%. 83 significant. Holy moly, holy moly. The one submission attempt from Leon Edwards, which he looked like he was about to get that rear naked choke. Probably the, I mean, how many people have freaking won by the rear naked choke? The rear naked choke is so important to learn. I believe so for UFC fights. If you don't know, like, get that in your fucking game, mate, and that will win you a fight. Or just work on that every single fucking day of your life. Talking to your fighters, just get that down. Takedowns 1 for 5, so he did have it, but look at Kamaru Usman's 5-12. 41.7%. That is fucking crazy. And I remember like one time, like I said, fourth round, he had him on the cage, but Kamaru was just like, fuck it. He just was like, let's scrap. When, that's the one thing you gotta respect Kamaru for. He did fit into the crowd because they started booing. Kamaru was like, forget it. Let's just scrap. Another fighter would have just been like, fuck, I care about the crowd for, let me just get this W because he would have also beat Silva's record with 18 wins. But he's like, pretty much for me, I'm saying that Kamaru just wanted the KO. One reason, he wanted to knock him out, and the other reason fed into the crowd. Two specific reasons, because he could. Let's be honest, Leon was not. He got up a couple times from those, from the wrestling, but let's be honest, Usman could have gone back down and got him locked up and probably went on full guard, and that would probably win it. Even though I don't know if you can have Leon Lyle like that, even though he kind of did. But Leon, he got up a couple times, like I said. I don't know how much times that'd be cool if I can actually get those specific numbers up. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today because I could just keep going back to the crazy shot to the face, like Leon said, bop bop bop. Um, so yeah, sabotage down, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna be the end of it for you. Until next time. Well, let's see what actually next time is. Oh, it's Torvasa, hey, beer shots and gone up in France, which is gonna be cool. Sabotage. Oh, and it's a break, so you probably won't be seeing or hearing from me for a little bit. Yeah. Sabotage out.